Landing on an aircraft carrier is dangerous, but even more so when things don't go according to plan. In this case, a test pilot named Captain George Duncan was testing an F-9 F-5 Panther as the airplane dropped below the correct line of approach and the fighter struck the edge of the flight deck and broke in half. You would think that was the end of it for the pilot, right? But it's not what you think. Thanks to the swift reaction of the flight deck crew, the pilot was pulled out alive and the fire was quickly extinguished. In 6 months, Captain Duncan was back at flying and later on became a lawyer. Today, under standard operational procedures, when landing on aircraft carriers, pilots apply full throttle at touchdown. If they catch one of the 3 or 4 arresting wires, they come to a full stop. Otherwise, the full throttle provides sufficient power to continue down the angled flight deck and become airborne again. This is known as bolter. During the subsequent pass, the bolter aircraft will attempt to land again. But in the early days of aircraft carriers, this was not always possible because carriers had traditional flat-top designs instead of the modern angled flight deck. This meant that airplanes were landing right in front of the other parked airplanes, so there was very little room for error. For this reason, emergency flight deck barriers were installed at the end of the landing area. The barriers were about 3 feet tall and would be lowered after each successful landing in order to move the airplane to the parking area. If something did go wrong, like a broken tailhook, the deck barriers were essential in stopping the aircraft from crashing into the flight deck crew